Hello everybody, hope you guys are enjoying your day. Today we're going to be looking at this northeast snowstorm that's going to be impacting areas in the Great Lakes and Northeast. It's going to be one of your first shots for some snowfall in quite a while, probably about a month or two. It's been a very warm winter and that's why you haven't seen too much snowfall. And this looks to be one of your more widespread 3 to 6 inch snowfalls. I will have my personal snowfall forecast at the end of the video, so make sure you are staying tuned all the way until the end because I will be providing that for you guys. So we're gonna start off here with your National Weather Service. Now we do have a pretty quiet National Weather Service. The only really advisories that we have are some flood warnings from that really severe flooding over southern Missouri and southern Kansas, and then some freeze warnings over Oklahoma and Arkansas. Other than that, nothing too significant in terms of warnings or watches look to be in place right now. So here's what your European model is putting out in terms of your precipitation type. So here is the Great Lakes view, and you're saying we have some snowfall arriving probably right around tomorrow afternoon. You're seeing some of that snowfall break out, and this would be right around 3 to 4 p.m. Now, as we continue, this starts to hit into Illinois, Iowa, southern Wisconsin, through Indiana, Ohio, and then getting there into southern Michigan. And most of these areas will eventually switch over to some snowfall or to some rainfall as we continue here. You'll see this would be by Monday morning, and now getting into Monday afternoon, you're starting to see some changeover to rain, but it'll be a very brief changeover for many areas in the Great Lakes, and then the system will pretty much move out to the east. You're actually going to get this first wave or this first low pressure system to develop, kind of move to somewhere around here, and then it'll kind of die off, and then you'll see your secondary low pressure system start up around North Carolina, Virginia, and then move offshore, kind of turning into a nor'easter as it comes offshore. Now let's search to your northeast perspective of the system. You're seeing some snowfall over Pennsylvania, New York, even going through northernmost New Jersey, and then through Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and then all the way through Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine. You're seeing some very heavy snowfall, and this is some of these areas are actually quite high in elevation, so you will actually get a little bit of elevation driven snowfall there. Even as you get into the coastal areas of Maine and New Hampshire, you're actually seeing a little bit of snowfall and mixing in there. And it is going to be right around 32 to 31, 30 degrees. So it's going to be just cold enough for many of these coastal locations along Maine, New Hampshire, and then even getting there into Massachusetts to at least see some mixing there. But most likely it's going to be in the form of snowfall as you get into Maine and New Hampshire as well. Especially as you get interior, it's definitely going to be in the form of snowfall. As we continue this would be by Monday night going through Tuesday morning, and it's kind of wrapping up, and pretty much it's all said and done with as you get about Tuesday around noontime. So here is your total snowfall in the Northeast, and you're seeing this is from the European model, and you're seeing a good 3 to 6 inches anywhere in those blues, or 2 to 6 inches anywhere in the grays. They're seeing about a tenth of an inch of snowfall to 2 inches, and then as you get into the purples, you're seeing about 6 to 10 inches. In the pinks, you're seeing about 10 plus inches of snowfall. Here's your Mid-Atlantic or Great Lakes view, and this is around 2 to 3 inches you're seeing here, and this would be over northern Illinois, northern Indiana, and then through the southern half of Michigan. And even those dark grays would be around an inch to an inch and a half of snowfall. So let's look at your NAM 12K model. This one is a little bit more aggressive with this storm system. So as we continue, you see the system moving out from the Rockies, and it's starting to get developed. And then you see this really big monster storm start to develop, kind of moving west to east until it gets to about Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, and it starts to move into a nor'easter. Now, this would be by Sunday night. You're seeing, again, pretty much the same story from the European and the NAM. The NAM actually wants to bring this snowfall further to the north, the snow rain line further to the north a little bit earlier as you get into Monday morning. We'll see how that does play out. That'll probably be your big boomer bust area, would probably be southern Michigan, northern Ohio, northern Indiana, and northern Illinois would probably be your big boomer bust area where you could actually get quite a bit of snowfall, maybe 2 to 3, 4 inches. or you could get close to maybe just under an inch of snowfall. So that's really going to be something to watch out for. Now, as you get into the Northeast, you're starting to see this would be by Monday night. Now, getting into Tuesday morning, you're starting to see pretty heavy snowfall there for Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and then through northern upstate New York. And as we continue, this starts to move out by again Tuesday around noontime. Now, this would be your total snowfall, and you're seeing again 4 to 5 inches being indicated by the NAM over areas into the Great Lakes. And then for the Northeast, really, I think this is overdoing it. I just wanted to show you a model that has a lot more snowfall and a model that has right around a moderate amount of snowfall to just give you two different perspectives on what could happen. Now, this NAM model is indicating around 6 inches for a very widespread region. We'll have to see how that does play out. Definitely, it is a possibility of something that could happen. Now, here's what your National Weather Service is putting out just for reference here. And you're seeing we have about an inch or so over areas into the Great Lakes. I think the National Weather Service is underdoing it as you get into the Great Lakes, but I do think they're pretty good and accurate as you get into the Northeast. And I do think they actually push this snowfall a little bit too far to the south. I don't think all these areas, especially right around southern Connecticut, southern upstate New York, and then getting through northeastern New Jersey, I don't think these areas will actually get too much snowfall. But definitely as you get north and west of those areas, I think you'll get quite a bit of snowfall, probably around 4 to 6 inches, and maybe some higher elevations could get close to 6 to 8 inches of snowfall. So here's my personal snowfall and rainfall forecast. Now we do have this is going to be a system that's going from the 21st through the 24th, so make sure you do keep that in mind. Now here's in this darker shade of pink, this is where you're seeing your primary low pressure system. It's going to be moving out of the Rockies, and they're pretty much going straight east to west or west to east, and it's going to be moving a little bit northeastward as you get right around the tail end of that system. But then it's going to transfer to this low pressure system over Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, and that's going to be moving to the north and east, and it's eventually going to go offshore, and it's actually going to be producing that pretty good snowfall just to the areas just to the north and west of that low pressure system. Now, again, this is going from the 21st all the way until the 24th, which would be Tuesday. So here's your under 1 inch to 3 inch layer, and this is going to be for areas into Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, through Indiana, and into the southern, or pretty much most of Michigan. Now, we also have another area there for West Virginia, Maryland, through much of Pennsylvania, and then into northwest New Jersey, and then through much of upstate New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, a little bit of Rhode Island there, and then through much of Massachusetts, and then through all of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Now, here's your 3 to 6 inch layer, and this is going to be for areas into the central part of Pennsylvania and the eastern part as well. This is a really elevation-driven area where the Appalachians kind of go straight through that area, so that's why I'm putting 3 to 6 inches there. You could actually get some elevation-dependent snowfall there, as well into upstate New York, 3 to 6 inches, through northwestern most Massachusetts, and then into much of Vermont, New Hampshire, and into the southern half of Maine, seeing 3 to 6 inches of snowfall. Now 6 to 12 inches here over areas into northeasternmost Pennsylvania, through central parts of upstate New York, and then through southern Vermont and New Hampshire, seeing 6 to 12 inches of snowfall potentially here. Now here's your rainfall layer, and we're not going to see too much rainfall, except I do expect quite a bit of rainfall there as you get into the middle Atlantic and coastal northeast, where it's going to be raining for probably a good 12 to 24 hours. Under an inch of rainfall expected here through areas into the southeast, and then through the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, and then even into the mid-Atlantic and coastal northeast there. Now, 1 to 2 inches there, again, that's going to be for areas into Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, into areas into southernmost New York, and then through southern Connecticut, much of Rhode Island, and then through southern and eastern parts of Massachusetts there. And that's where I'm expecting 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, probably around 1 to 1.5 inches of rainfall. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video when I do upload. Anyways, guys, that was Eli, the Guy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.